Casinos are the undisputed masters of the world at playing an edge. So let's have a quick look at their business model to understand how they make money and then see if we can learn some things for our trading business. So let's take a look at one of the most popular tables, the roulette wheel. And for the sake of this example, we're going to keep it extremely simple and we're only going to concentrate on the red and black diamonds on the bottom of the table. Now the standard roulette wheel is numbered from 0 to 36 and numbers 1 to 36 are made up of an even distribution of 18 red cells and 18 black cells. 0 is green and that represents an automatic win for the casino. So by including the green 0 cell, the casino ever so slightly tilts the odds in their favour on each and every game. So remember in the previous lesson with the coin toss example, where it was a 50% chance of winning by flipping a heads or tails, but then we ever so slightly skewed the odds in our favour by changing the winning payout? Well, this is essentially the exact same principle. So let's use our knowledge of probability to calculate what your profit expectancy is with a £100 bet on black. Now, a few things we all need to know. A win pays 1 to 1. So that just means that we'll make a £100 profit if the ball lands on a black number and we win. Or if we lose, that will just cost our initial bet, which is obviously a £100 loss. So if the ball lands on a red number or the green 0, that will be a £100 loss. Now, out of the 37 total cells, 18 of those are black, which will result in a win. And then the other remaining 19 cells are either red or green, and those will result in a loss. So hopefully you remember how to calculate the profit expectancy. So remember, the profit expectation is the profit that you can make if you win, multiplied by the probability of you winning, which you then add to the amount that you can lose, multiplied by the probability of that loss occurring. So in this case, that's a £100 times 18 over 37, because there are 18 black numbers out of a total 37 numbers on the wheel. And then we divide that by our minus £100 loss times 19 over 37. Because remember, there are 18 red numbers and that one green number, which both means we'll lose. So this is equal in total to minus £2.70. So what that actually means is, as a roulette player, you actually have a negative profit expectancy of a £2.70 loss for every £100 that you bet. So from the casino's point of view, however, right, they have a positive profit expectancy of £2.70 for every £100 that is bet. We obviously want to make sure that we are the casino, right, and not the roulette gambler. Now, £2.70 may not seem like much, but then you have to consider a roulette table with 10 players, each with thousands of pounds worth of chips that they are willing to gamble. And then remember, each casino probably has 10, 20, 30, and sometimes even more of these tables, and they're usually open 24 hours a day. You know, even these days, right? The last time I was in Vegas, they had electronic roulette tables everywhere. They're becoming really popular. And essentially with these machines, gamblers can just sit down on a nice comfortable chair in front of a big screen and essentially play virtual roulette. But what this means for the casino is they now require less staff and they can pretty much run games quicker, which then means they're getting in even more games every single day. They are the masters of exploiting the law of large numbers to their advantage. Now think about the casino for a second. The house holds a slight mathematical edge with each game that they play, and they keep playing day in, day out, every day of the year, so that their profitable edge works through over time. This is how they are able to amass billions of dollars in revenue each year and erect those massive grand buildings all over the world whereby they can play their games. Now in America, they actually have 2 green zeros on the roulette wheel. So if you are going to go and play roulette, you're actually better off going to Europe to play where there is only 1 0 and the odds are slightly higher on the tables there. So what are some of the key lessons that we can learn from the casino that we can actually apply to our trading? Well, the casino never knows if they will make money on any given spin, and they don't need to know. The outcome from each individual spin or trade is completely random. They've got no idea if it's going to win or lose. But if it's random on an individual spin, then how do they make money? They make money from carrying a positive profit expectancy and allowing it to play out over a large number of trials. The law of large number requires you to play as many games as possible, remember, to see the edge play out over time. Now they have strict rules for each game and they never break them. So essentially they always stick to their trade plan no matter what. If they lose money on 5 spins in a row, they're not getting emotional and beginning to change the rules of the game. They don't try to tweak and modify their strategy rules after only a small number of losing trades, because they know that that would destroy their probability model. And finally, they take measures to ensure that they can participate in as many games as possible. Right, so they use risk management techniques such as putting maximum bet size limits on the table, because that prevents any of the punters from putting on a huge bet where the punter could potentially have a lucky win that could end up wiping out the casino. So the casino just puts risk management measures in place, so it allows them to stay in the game long enough to see their profitable edge play out and survive any inevitable random losing streaks that they may incur. And all of those 5 are really great lessons that we can apply to our trading. Now, as a currency trader, some of the common questions you no doubt will receive, if you haven't already, are, what is the US dollar going to do next? Is it a good time to buy euros for my holiday now or later? When I first started out trading and people would ask me these type of questions, I used to try and take the time to explain to them that we don't really predict price movements per se. But after answering these questions literally countless of times, my only response now is that I literally have no idea what's going to happen next. I don't have a magical crystal ball. And as you can imagine, especially if you've already had a similar conversation with someone about this before, they usually often react and in shock. And they're like, "What do you mean you have no idea? I thought you were a currency trader. How do you make money if you don't know what's going to happen next?" Now, at this point, if you can't be bothered to explain to them, then ask them back if the casino knows what number the ball is going to land on in the roulette table. Of course they don't. It's impossible to know because an individual spin is random, right? And it's the exact same concept in trading. The casino manager doesn't know. They have no idea, but yet they consistently make money because they have an edge that plays out over time. Now, remember the coin flipping game from the lesson before? What if I was to have you try and predict the outcome of each and every individual flip of the coin? Firstly, it would be impossible to predict with any degree of actionable certainty. And secondly, it would be pointless because we don't care what happens on each individual flip. We make money from applying a mathematical edge over hundreds of flips the same way as in trading. And the issue with trying to predict individual trades is that when you get it right, you can become euphoric. You can really start to feel really proud and sort of supremely intelligent, like you're slightly better than the market. But the more that you swing that way emotionally when you get it right, how do you think you will then react when you inevitably get it wrong? You're going to feel depressed. And that pridefulness that you will feeling, that's going to turn into a feeling of shame. You're going to feel like you're not good enough. You're going to feel stupid and disheartened. Now, picture the casino manager sitting up in his office, watching the roulette tables via all of the camera feeds. Can you imagine him tearing his hair out, trying to predict where the roulette ball will land? What if a gambler puts down a big bet? Do you think he sits up there cheering on the ball, stomping his feet and chanting for it to not land on red 14? Right? Of course not. He doesn't care about the results of individual games, just as traders ought not to care about the results of individual trades. Trying to predict the outcome of individual trades is just a futile exercise favoured by gamblers and amateur traders. You must keep a long-term vision. Master traders are focused on executing their proven edge with zero expectation on the individual outcome. When you have truly mastered your trading mindset, you will feel the exact same way when you hit a massive winner as when you take a loss. You won't care because you know you're just doing the exact same thing over and over again. You're focused on the next 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 trades. You have fully accepted the risk before you even know the outcome of the trade. That money is already written off. Because then if you take a valid losing trade, you know that that loss is just taking you one step closer to your inevitable winning streak. It's just probabilities. That is masterful trading. That is photon trading.